Good afternoon, students. Today we'll start with a new lesson called The Treasure Within. From the textbook, it so happened this is the fourth lesson, and we are carrying out the first session. The title tells us the treasure within. A literal meaning for treasure is a quantity of precious metals or valuable objects, or you could say all the richness what is there inside it. But when you add this word with the word within, the treasure within means something we are going to talk which is not seen, it is not a material one. So, yes, here exactly, everyone we are talking about the treasure which we possess inside ourselves. We generally, what mistake we do, we start comparing ourselves with someone else, and there, with the fear of getting judged, we don't give our 100%. But yes, definitely the treasure is there within us, and that treasure is realized by one such person we are going to learn about in this lesson is Hafiz Contractor. Here a small image I have just given. Of course, you could see just a pencils all over here and there, color pencils. I could just use a kind of metaphor over there and tell you that if we put ourselves in this place, like you could see some pencils are blunt, some has different colors, some are pointed, some are vague, some are sharp. So same thing happened with ourselves. Like every human being has different talent, quality, everything has been there. You just have to just realize and use aptly with the proper behavior, and you can bring out the most beautiful success out of your courage, wit, cleverness, everything. Students, this is a picture of Hafiz Contractor. He is an Indian architect. He is a very well known architect, and he has designed many skyscraper buildings. Skyscraper means it has multi-storied, and it has been known that he has earned such a good fame in India that he has been awarded as Padma Bhushan in the year 2016. And primarily he is in the city of Mumbai. He was born on 1950. He is the architect of three tallest buildings in India, and he is known for his unique designs, concepts, and bold executions. I have some pictures of some of his uh, beautiful buildings which he had constructed. They are literally awesome. It has got new concept, and imagination levels are great, and which made him great for his thoughts and for his act. So today we are going to learn something that you have to achieve what you had always wished, your ambitions, your dreams to be put into a reality by mere hard work and discipline. Through Hafiz's contractor's experience, we are going to understand this. And in this lesson, it's a kind of an conversation between a reporter and Hafiz. Let us look into it. The treasure within. Before you read, every child is a potential achiever and is different from other children in his style of learning and area of interest. Read the interview that follows. It is based on a conversation between Miss Bela Raja, editor of Sparsh, a newsletter from the Resource Center, the Valley School, Bangalore, and Mr. Hafiz Contractor, one of India's leading architects. As usual, we'll start with the first phase and having some pointers for it. Hafiz Contractor was an unhappy schoolboy. He loved doing things but detested mechanical learning. Mathematics gave him the shivers. What his principal once said to him influenced him deeply. So, we are going to see Hafiz's school days and how he faced these shivers or the nightmares, what you have or you call as an exams or the difficult subject. Let us see what he has to say. Now, here they have written the capital letter HC is, who is that? Hafiz Contractor, and BR is Bela. HC. I used to have this terrible nightmare. Only now, over the last 4 to 5 years, it seems to have disappeared. Bia, what nightmare are you talking about, and why do you think it has disappeared now? So now it's a conversation. Students, I'll be reading the conversation and then overall give you the explanation about it. Moving ahead with the next conversation from Hafiz. I used to get continuous nightmares about appearing for a maths examination where I did not know anything. Now the psych must have gotten over it. I don't have to think about education and there is absolutely no time to get nightmares. So now, what was his nightmare? Yes, the examination was a nightmare for him, and this prevailed for very long years. He is giving the interview and he is telling that only past 4 or 5 years now he is not getting this nightmares, but till then he had a shiver on his nerve regarding this subject. Bela. Tell us something about your earliest memories in school. Hafiz. In the first and second year, I was a good student. After I reached the third standard, I simply lost interest and I never studied. I used to be interested in games, running around, playing jokes and pranks on others. I would copy in class during exam times. I would try to get hold of the examination paper that had been prepared and study it, as I could not remember things that had been taught to me in class. However, later one sentence spoken to me by my principal changed my life. So, here he explains how his childhood days were like till he was in grade 3, that is standard 3. He managed to clear his exams by mere copying and cheating. That isn't good, children, but he did it and he later felt that this wasn't right. But one thing has changed his life, that is one sentence from his principal side. What was it? Let us see. When I approached my 11th standard, the principal called me and said, "Look here, son, I have been seeing you from day one. You are a good student, but you never studied. I have taken care of you till today. Now I can no longer take care of you, so you do it yourself." So, this is a very reality based words, you can say. This is the truth that when you're under the wings of your parents, of your authorities from the school, that is principal or teachers, you have been taken care of. Once when you're out to face the life isn't easier. So it's a precautionary word given by the principal. Like this takes me to a saying kind of thing. I'll just share a saying with you. Life is most difficult exam. Many people fail because they try to copy others, not realizing that everyone has a different question paper. So here you go. So everyone has a different question paper and everyone has to deal with it in a own tactics. You can't copy others for this. So examinations are kind of lesson to you that why you shouldn't copy others. Moving ahead, he talked to me for 5 minutes. You don't have your father. Your mother has worked so hard to bring you up and paid all your fees all these years, but you have only played games. Now you should rise to the occasion and study. So now he brings his family background also, and here we come to know that he doesn't have a father and his mother was working so hard so that she can make this boy's future. And if this boy is behaving like this, would it be a bright future? There was a big question mark. I used to be very good sportsman. I had been the senior champion for so many years and I also was the cricket captain. I used to play every game, but that year I did not step out onto the field. So now he is telling that he was a good sportsman and he was also champion in many things for many years, but that day he couldn't step the field because these words given by his principal somewhere made an impression on his mind and made him think what was he doing. I would go for prayers and all I would do was eat and study. I normally used to copy and pass, but I realized that once I was in SSC, I could not do that. That is like 10th standard exam. When I got a second class 50% in my SSC, my principal said, "Son, consider yourself as having got a distinction. This is my memory of my school days." So, what happened? Finally, in 10th standard, he decided that he's not going to cheat and he's not going to copy. Whatever he is going to get, it's fully out of his hard work and his discipline or honesty, you could say. And what did he get? He got 50%. But to this also his principal appreciated and said it is like almost like a distinction, because he had received this 50% without cheating or without making any copy from others. So let's go ahead. So these were the school days where Hafiz mentioned to Bella. I did lots of other things. See, as far as my things are concerned, I can't remember. I forget things very easily. To remember, I have to see things as a photograph book, and I can remember the matter as a photograph, but not through my mind. That is how it works. So everyone has got a different pattern of remembering it. Like even if you graph yourself, how do you remember things? Like I can tell about me. Okay, when I want to remember somebody's birthday, I literally calculate the year. Like if I want to remember as 1982, what will I do? I will remember as 9 and 8 ulta, and here 1 and 2, the opposite side. Somewhere I have a different way and technique of remembering things. Of course, I believe even you people must be having a different technique to remember the things. So let's go ahead, Bela. When you were in school and you were doing badly, did the teachers pull you up, and how did you feel? Hafiz, I never felt anything on being pulled up. I used to be so interested in playing, I would receive a caning every week. Caning means beatings. So Bella asked, how would you feel? Of course, when a teacher is upset with you, she sometimes punishes you or she hits you. How do you feel that time? To this, Hafiz says that he didn't feel anything bad about it. Bela, when you knew that you had incurred the wrath of your teacher by not doing your homework or by behaving badly, when you knew you would get a caning, what was the state of your mind? Hafiz, state of mind? Just lift up the hand and they would cane you. I would hurt badly and then I would have to forget about it because I would want to go and play. So again Bela had a question. So what kind of state of mind you have in your inside your mind that when your teacher is going to catch you if you don't do your homework, and if you do some naughty thing she's going to catch you and punish you? What kind of feeling do you have? He said, nothing. I just raise my hand and get the hittings and that's all. I forget about it. So this is how Hafiz was. He did not keep the grudge on anybody else like Noddy because he understands that what he was doing was wrong. Bela, you never felt insecure or threatened? Hafiz, I was just interested in playing and nothing else. I was most interested in funny pranks. One day, I did not want to study, so I created a distraction. For one whole hour, we played Chor Police. Every Saturday, we were allowed to go into town to see a movie. So, what I would do was have no lunch and collect money from 40 to 50 students and run and buy the tickets. On my way back, I would eat to my heart's content. So, this boy is really naughty. He used to prank others and create such situations. One of the example is given over here. I used to be the leader of a gang. We would have gang fights and plan strategies. These things would used to interest me more than any academics. So, of course, this is also a kind of interesting artistic work he used to do by creating groups, by being or playing a role of a leader to them, and also not sticking with that, he also used to have gang fights, which wasn't good. And now he realizes that because all this thrill was more attractive than just the academics. Students used to book my textbook for the following year because they were almost brand new. I probably opened them one day before exams. So, this is how Hafiz was there during his school days, very naughty and not even interested even a 10% in his academics. And he also tells that how his books were being on demand since it was untouched and they were as probably very new as the new book available in the market. So this was about Hafiz. Let me conclude with this first phase. We'll go with the second phase in the next session.